watch the video, I didn't go into it, but when I saw that post, I was like, that's it. That's it. It's not about the motivation. It's about discipline. Hello, what's up, what it do, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Karabo, aka Candy K. For some of you guys who are brand new here, I am the co-founder of Keigh Cosmetics. Today we are on episode 4 of Building Your Brand. I want to talk to you guys about basically entrepreneurship from a standpoint of defeat or temporary defeat, and I want to just express myself now because I'm within that space. I am actually going through the storm, and I just want to give you, an overview of what it looks like, what it feels like, and a few techniques that I have learned along the way, and a few coping mechanisms that I've been using lately to get myself out of the rut. So before we get into the video though, I want to do something, which is put on my my jewelry. Can I just do that? Let's do that before we get into the video. Okay, so now that I got these pieces on, let me tell you a little bit more about the brand and what they stand for. Man, do I not look pretty with these? Come on. Okay, so Ana Luisa is a jewelry brand that is based in New York City, America. However, they do deliver internationally, which is how I got my pieces. They offer speedy as well as reliable delivery, and when I say speedy, I literally mean it. I got the confirmation email on a Monday, and then Friday I got a call from the DHL guy, and he was like, hello, are you home? I'm outside, come get your parcel. And it was the Ana Luisa products, rather pieces, that I've been waiting for. They are a brand that is chasing after sustainability. They are trying their level best to make sure that they are carbon neutral as they create these pieces. These pieces are super detailed. What they're trying to do is offset 100% of their carbon emission from the sourcing of the raw materials all the way up to the end, which is the end products that you see me wearing today. Their pieces ranges from $39 all the way up to higher end, so they basically have something for everyone. Depending on your budget and depending on your quality taste, then definitely you can find a piece that works perfectly for you and your budget. Finally, if you're interested in any of the pieces that I'm wearing or the ones that I've just been showing you guys on the screen, you can go ahead and click onto the direct link to the store in my description box. It's not going to be far, I promise you. It's going to be right on top. Browse through the store, see what you can find. If it's for yourself and you just want to treat yourself, then go ahead and find what works for you or what was going to look good on you. If you're purchasing this for someone else as a gift and all of that good stuff, then go ahead and search. They have really good pieces for you to choose from, and once you're ready to make the purchase, make use of my discount code. I'm smiling because this is my very first discount code, CandyK10, and you're gonna get 10% off of your purchase, which will save you a lot, especially because you are gonna have to pay for shipping. So be smart about it, make use of the discount code, and save yourself some coins, mama. Save yourself some coins. Don't forget to follow Ana Luisa on Instagram. I will leave the direct link in the description box as well, and also subscribe to the newsletter, because in the newsletter you will get information about new pieces that are going to be dropping, about sales and all that stuff. So make sure that you're subscribed to the newsletter and you follow their Instagram page. So yeah, let's get into this video. Okay, so let's talk. Man, where do I even begin? The reason why I wanted to film this video is because I genuinely wanted to talk about where I am while I'm there. I didn't want to wait until success comes my way before I can actually share my story of the feelings that are attached to temporary defeat, that are attached to failure, that are attached to the blaming of yourself, especially when things don't work out the way that you really wanted them to work out. When you have a vision for how far you want your brand to go, or how far you want. This actually applies not only to entrepreneurs, but it also applies to people who are working, you're in school. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do in life, as long as you're living, as long as you're breathing, you are guaranteed to go through a whole lot of you know, defeat, but it's important for you to understand that it's only temporary. It's important for you to understand that through this defeat there's an opportunity that has your name on it, so do not let it pass you by no matter what. I'm going to leave all of the products that I'm using in the description box because yeah, I just want this to literally be a chit chat, get ready with me type of vibe. And then anything that has to do with makeup I will leave in the description box for you guys. Keigh Cosmetics is not where I envisioned it to be. I had a plan, I had a vision for it. I kind of knew where I wanted to be, you know, before I even started it. But I just experienced temporary defeat. I've just experienced a bit of failure here and there, and here I am. Today, I'm still trying to navigate through it. I am still fighting my way through the storm. I am learning what I can learn and as much as I possibly can learn. So it's not like I'm not doing anything about it. It's not like I've quit. It's not like I've stopped. I'm actually taking this time to learn a little bit more about where I really want the brand to go, and also put in place goals and you know, plans of achieving those goals. But let me be raw and tell you this: the reason why I'm here, I cannot blame anybody else but myself. And that has been the hardest thing for me to say for the longest time, because I have no one else to blame. I do not have employees to blame. I do not have partners and members to blame. I only have myself to blame. So my biggest problem has been knowing what I need to do, having the resources available to do what I need to do, but lacking the discipline to follow through. My biggest thing is discipline. That has been my biggest enemy. It's been one thing that I've been fighting against ever since I started my brand. And as much as you think you are disciplined in life, you like, life just comes through and it shocks you. It really does shock you. I have all of the resources. I have them all, trust me. But discipline is one thing that I lack. I've been actively working on it. I make it a habit. I create habits around my life to try find my way out of this loop of ill discipline. But I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy. It's really not easy. It's been the hardest thing that I have ever had to do. And I quit too quickly. I quit too soon. I give up too quickly when I don't see results. And of course that also has a lot to do with discipline. In this time I had to be very real with myself. I had to be honest about where I am, about what is stopping me from getting to where I know I not deserve to be, but I know that I actually can get there. And when I get there, I'm gonna dominate. I already know that, but I don't have the discipline to carry it out. And that has been the biggest problem for me. I remember I felt so depressed. I actually thought that, you know, it's the money thing and I don't have money to do this. I don't have. For like 2 whole weeks, I slept, didn't wake up, and I was busy on Netflix. Like, I was getting paid to watch whatever it is I was watching. I remember just scrolling through YouTube, and though I might butcher his name, but I think it's Vuyo Kuzwayo or whatever, the entrepreneur speaker. I don't know, he's an entrepreneur, but he's also like a coach. I saw one of his videos. I didn't watch the video, I just saw like the thumbnail of the video, and it just wrote something like, entrepreneurs do not need motivation to get to where they need to be. What they need is discipline. And that hit different. That for me hit super differently, because I had already, I knew that my problem is the fact that I do not have discipline. I'm not disciplined at all. I just go with the flow way too much. and expect things to work out. You know what I mean? That's been my problem. Like, that has been my problem. I work so hard without strategy, without, you know, certain habits put into place, and it just, I expect for it to happen, and I want it to happen right now. Like, why isn't it happening right now? Why is it taking forever to happen? You know, I get so mad and so angry, and then at the end of the day I end up becoming depressed because my anxiety would have reached like its peak. I would have given up already, mentally, of course. Even though physically I'm here, y'all can see me, I'm posting, I'm still on WhatsApp and whatever, but it seems like something is working, but nothing is really working in my life. Well, in my business, if I could put it that way. When I saw that post, I didn't watch the video, I didn't go into it, but when I saw that post, I was like, that's it. That's it. It's not about the motivation, it's about discipline. When I later on watched the video, he explained that motivation plays the least role in this entire process. When you look at a successful person, 1% was motivation, but 80 to 99% would have been discipline. You might be motivated today, tomorrow when you wake up, you're not motivated, then you stop. If you're gonna work on motivation, that means you constantly need to be motivated every single day, every single minute, because your thoughts change everything, your habits change everything. Your thoughts are important, and most of the time motivation comes through, you know, the renewing of the mind and changing of the way that you think and all that stuff. So if you constantly need that, if you constantly need something new to be said to you in order for you to continue moving, then you're going to be disappointed more than you can imagine. I mean, if you think about it, motivation comes from what you hear or from what you read, right? But discipline comes from what you become accustomed to. Discipline it's like a habit. It's something that you do repeatedly. It's something that you kind of like have no choice but to do it. Discipline is waking up every morning and going to work whether you feel like it or not. If you can do that for your employer, because you know if you don't do it, then you're going to lose your job, and then you're not going to have money, and then you're going to be like another unemployed person chilling at home simply because you were not disciplined enough, or you did not do what you were supposed to do. Discipline is what you do every day. It's literally the things that you do not compromise on. And that's when I realized that I needed to be disciplined. And in order for me to be disciplined, I have to find a reason. I have to find the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that reason has to be solid enough. It has to be valid enough for me to not even want to quit, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how difficult it might be. I wouldn't want to quit. I had to find my reason. I had to find my why. And once I have the why, even when it feels like nothing is happening, when it feels like I'm losing, I'm defeated, I still get back up and I still make the most out of the day that is given to me and actually produce results despite the situation. That's what my pastor, Pastor Joseph, was speaking about that last week. He said, produce results regardless of the situation. If you have to remove your emotions from it, if you have to remove your feelings from the situation or from whatever that you're going through, do it. Remove them. And rather just work from a point of like, I have to do this. It becomes I have to do it instead of like I want to. Because that just clicked. I want to do it comes from motivation, and I have to do it comes from discipline. You can quote me on that. That's powerful. I've started doing is enrolling in short courses for what I want to do, because this time around I knew and I told myself that this is where Keigh Cosmetics is going, this is where I wanted to go, and this is what I can do right now, this is what I have the capacity to do right now. And this is before even putting the God element into it, okay? Before putting in what God has planned for you, the desires that you have. Because before I even continue, can I just say this? I always say this: the desires that you have, do not think that you just get them from anywhere. These are desires that God has placed on the inside of you, or the enemy has placed on the inside of you at the end of the day. But you need to figure out the ones that God has placed on the inside of you, because they are good, they are perfect, and they are pleasing. That desire is literally what God wants you to go for, and that desire is normally the hardest to achieve. It's normally the one that seems super impossible to achieve, and find a way to do it. You know, break it down into small little bits and pieces. That's basically what I'm learning to do and what I'm practicing to do like in this moment. And that comes in with reading more. It comes in with absorbing knowledge from those that have actually passed where I am. It's being in circles that continually remind you of the fact that you have to make it. Staying away from anything that brings about any negative thoughts or negative impact on the journey that you're working on right now. It's so deliberate. Like, the journey of success, it's on its own, is so deliberate. I think even life on its own is a deliberate thing. You literally have to deliberately do something in order for it to succeed. You have to want to do it, and you have to know that you have to do it. You actively have to do certain things in order for you to get the results that you require. And that has taken me so long to understand, that has taken me so long to learn. When you have a standard that you are going for, and you have like a picture or an image or a vision of who you want to be, or how you want your situation to be, or how you want your life to be, it becomes a bit easier, not easy, a bit easier, or it becomes less harder for you to follow suit with discipline. It becomes a lot less harder for you to be disciplined, to continue, because you have this image of where you want to be, you have this image of who you want to be, you have the image of the life that you're living, and you know for a fact that what you're doing right now at this very moment is not adding value to that vision, or it's not even building anything, it's not even laying a brick towards the vision that you had. Then discipline becomes like an essential thing for you at that very moment, where you get up and you're like, this is not benefiting me in any way, this is not building anything for me, it's not even helping Keigh Cosmetics in any way. Why am I doing this? And then you stop it, you know. And this is it's simple things like just laying in bed, or working on something that you shouldn't be working on, or just watching TV like at that moment, and you just know that you have a lot to do. It's the smallest things, and if you learn how to consciously discipline yourself with the small things, I think it becomes much more easier when you have bigger tasks, or bigger troubles, or bigger situations, or bigger storms and trials and tribulations and tests that are coming your way. It becomes easier for you to stay disciplined. My growth lately or recently, as I wait for the next chapter of Keigh Cosmetics, is basically because like my brand is 6 months old, and trust me when I say this is not where I wanted it to be. I really wanted it to be already well known and all that stuff, and that's the truth, I'm not gonna lie, but that's not where it's at, and I needed this time to reflect. I needed this time to, I just needed this time, to be what it needs to be. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I genuinely needed to be knocked down. I needed to be brought back you know, to be centered. And I needed to be taught a few things before I go forward. I do not want to not have the lessons of this trial, not have the lessons of this temporary defeat in the future, when I know that my brand is going to be super huge. It's going to be really big. And I need this specific time for my future. I need it for 10 years in business. I need it for shipping internationally. I need it for globally recognized. I need it for JSE listed. I need it for the times where my brand is just going to be so big, you know, and there's going to be so many other elements that are needed and required. I need this moment. I need the right now to happen, and I need to actually get out of it alive. I need to go through it and learn something from it, because what I learn from it right now is going to be the most valuable lesson, that or rather not even lesson, it's going to be the most valuable weapon that I carry into the future of my business. So it's not pretty. It's not pretty here, because you feel like a failure. You constantly have to remind yourself that it's okay to be here, you know, it's all right. Don't feel no pressure. There's no one pressurizing you anyway. You're the only one pressurizing yourself. It makes you sad sometimes. It makes you question God and whether this is really, like, if you're worthy of this, if you're even capable of it, you know. Am I capable of this? Do I have to be the one to carry this desire? Do I have to be the one to carry this vision? Can I not get another one that's easier to, oh child, I'm a cry, let me not cry. But can I not get another like vision that is much more easier compared to this one? Because now I already started and I have to finish. I can't quit too soon. I can't leave too early. I have to get rid of these emotions and actually conquer through. I have to make it out alive. I have to win. No matter what, I have to win. It has to be me. It has to be me. It can't be anybody else. I don't want it to be anybody else. It just has to be me. I have to win. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn. There are parts of me that are being broken. There are parts of me that are growing. There are parts of me that are more understanding. There are parts of me that I give enough grace to grow, and I find myself bearing the fruits of the Spirit. If you know what the fruits of the Spirit are, I find myself literally bearing those fruits every now and then, and it makes me really happy. It makes me really proud, because even though publicly nothing is happening, publicly no one is seeing what's happening, what is happening on the inside, the battles that I'm fighting, the trials that I'm going through, the self-doubt that I'm going through, the prayers that I pray, you know, the sacrifices I make, I know that they're important, not to you as the viewer, not to you as the one watching from the outside, but to me for tomorrow, to me for today, to me for my children, to me for whosoever comes up to me. I have to be the one that goes through it. It can't be anyone else. I don't want it to be anybody else. I repeat. Oh, flip, lashes. Totally forgot. Totally forgot. Let me pop on these lashes. Oh, yes. Yes. Look at how this elevated the look. Can you see that? Can you see the elevation? Can you see the elevation though? Get yourself some lashes, girl. So this is the final look. We are ready. Oh, love it. Love it so much. I love this. Okay, so to wrap this video up, what I want to say is it's okay to have high expectations of things to work out the first time you try. It's okay, and it's good to have that. However, always know that when you face temporary defeat, it is exactly that. It's temporary. It's not going to be the end result. It's not the end result. It's not going to be the end of everything. You just need to realize that there's something to learn, you know, or rather just switch your mind and change your mind into thinking that there's definitely something to learn here. I have to learn something from this failure. I have to learn something from this, you know, temporary defeat. When I started out, I had all these hopes and dreams. I had all these goals. I thought to myself, you know what, I'm gonna be a success. The first time I drop this, it's gonna be sold out. This happens and all of that, and no, it didn't work out that way. But I've learned so much so far from the defeat. I've learned so much so far from the defeat. I now understand better. I now know better. I now know what my limitations, not limitations, but what my weaknesses are, and I now know how to navigate around my weaknesses when they start to show up in my business, when they start to show up in my everyday life, when they start to show up when I am going through a specific time in my life where I need strength, but I know that this is where I'm weak. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I've become a much more better person, and if I were to face yet another test or yet another trial or yet another temporary defeat, I'm not going to view it the same way that I viewed it right now. I'm gonna look at it in a different way and say, okay, here we are. Let's pause for a moment. What am I missing? What am I forgetting? What do I need to learn now? What is this moment teaching me that I need to bring into the future of my business, the future of my career, the future of whatever it is that you are doing? So always remember to, number one, be kind to yourself. Meaning, feel the emotions when you feel them. Don't try to be strong. Don't try to act like they're not even there. Don't do that. Feel them. If depression is what you're feeling, feel it. Go through all those emotions. But what I need you to do is not to stay there. You cannot allow yourself to stay in that place. You can't stay in that depressive moment or state for a long time. Get yourself out of it. Find help out of it. If you can't do it on your own, find help. Talk to someone about it. Find people who might have went through this, like a similar situation for as you did, and find yourself out of it. And I want to also point out the fact that if you are a Christian or you're a believer, find God. Most of the time we have this thing of like, we're disappointing God. We feel like we're disappointing God. We feel like we're not doing what God wants us to do and all that stuff. And then we are afraid to go back to him when we make mistakes and say, hey, you know, I know that I'm ill-disciplined, you know, and I really want to ask you for help, but I don't know how to ask you for help for something that I should be able to get myself out of. It's like we have this weird relationship with God, whereas he just genuinely wants us to come to him when we're troubled, when we're worried. He wants us to talk to him. He wants us to pray without ceasing. This means that even when those negative thoughts come through, take a moment, take a deep breath and say, God, I acknowledge that I'm feeling this, and I'm asking for your help to get out of this. You know, I'm asking for your help to renew my mind and to help me see this from a different perspective. Help me see it from your perspective, because he's the one that knows the future. So he basically created the future before creating the current. I don't know if that makes any sense, but he knows what's going on in front of us, right? And he's the perfect person to even ask if this is important for me to feel. Should I even be worried about this, you know? And funny enough, he gives an answer very, very quickly. Well, at least for me, because I have been harnessing, I've been learning how to hear the voice of God in my life particularly, and it's been helping me a lot lately. It's been helping me a whole lot lately. So don't be discouraged. If you do feel discouraged, acknowledge it and move away from it. Acknowledge it, move away from it. And once you find yourself feeling anxious, or you feeling inadequate, or you feel like, you know, you don't want to go on with this is not meant for me and all that stuff, that's the perfect time for you to keep on going, because the enemy knows when you're just about to hit the gold. He knows when you're just about to do something that's going to change like your life, the world, people around you. He knows. And I need you to keep on pushing. I need you to keep on going regardless of the situation. Find peace in that situation, find the joy in that situation, and focus on it, because there is exactly where your way out is. When you try to find the joy, when you try to find the lesson within the situation or the trial that you're going through, that's exactly where your breakthrough is going to come from. I hope that this video was not all over the place. My thoughts always are all over the place, but I had to say it like I feel it. I had to say it like I know it. I had to say it like I've experienced it. That's why in the beginning I said I had to record this video right now while I am in the thick of the temporary defeat, the thick of failure, and so that I can also look back at this video and say, I remember how I felt when I was recording this. I remember that, and I remember the lesson that came out of the situation that I was in. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. I hope that you will find help through this. I hope that you will find hope through this. I hope that you will get up and do what you need to do, you know, to prevail, to win in life. I really hope that that's what's gonna happen to you and for you. Okay, so before we leave, don't forget to click onto the link in the description box to visit Ana Luisa's website. Don't forget to also use my discount code, my very first discount code, which is CandyK10, no underscores, no capital letters, just as it is. And of course, follow Ana Luisa on Instagram, as well as subscribe to their newsletter for more information, exclusive drops of new products, or rather new pieces, and so on and so forth. So do not forget to do that, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. I want to wish you guys love, joy, peace, happiness, and greatness, of course, but most importantly, blessings directly from above onto you and yours. Till we meet again in the next video, of course. Mwah. Goodbye.